Did a GTA killer just become a studio killer? Looks like it. We've just found out that Mind's Eye developer Builder Rocket Boy is actually set to lose over 100 members of its staff thanks to an insider basically reaching out to IGN to kind of whistleblow on this here. This has happened because of part of UK law. If you actually go to make over 100 people redundant, they need to be given a 90-day period to be done in, with a 45-day consultation period being started essentially today for those developers. And it's just a bit of a sad reality that we're seeing another major developer in the scene completely, absolutely squashed. But to some extent, some people may think that this was already coming, given the fact of how Mind's Eye actually did end up faring. For those who don't know, Mind's Eye was meant to be this incredible sort of GTA killer and almost a Roblox equivalent of adult video games. And when I say adult video games, I don't mean pornography games. One of those ones where you could create with the tools that made Mind's Eye, your own independent 3D open world game in which you got to then control the narrative, the actual character standpoints, the set pieces, all of those things inside of a robust engine that would be easy to work with, much like what we see happening with in regards to games and the Roblox engine. However, Mind's Eye was meant to be the actual sort of flagship example of what this could become. But we've seen in recent weeks that the game has been kind of lauded to be in a total mess, with many outlets, including Giant Bomb, showing incredibly disturbingly silly bugs, making some of the scenarios seem unplayable, if not an outright joke, as well as streamers who can't even get through their own ad read by the end of the stream, laughing at the concept of trying to sell you on the game. Thus then, regarding the actual further promotion of the game being stripped away from all streamers going forward, including a big streamer like CoCarnage. Now, this hasn't really been helped by some of the actual rhetoric that's been coming out of the studio, where before the game even came out, there was accusations made towards the wider industry as well as content creators, saying there was a concerted effort by some to trash the game and the studio before the game comes out. But the reality when it comes down to that there is that this game wasn't even given any review copies to any major publications or any actual content creators, which is usually a sign that a publisher does not want their game to be seen by a wider audience prior to the day of sale, to not tarnish or to minimize the day one sales of the product. That in itself feels like a bit of copium, but we'll have to see. Regardless of what goes forward, we know that there is potentially going to be 100 people lost from the studio, and what that means for the engine as well as the studio as a whole is hard to say. With 300 members of the studio being in the UK alone and another 200 abroad, that is a lofty amount of people to try and sustain on a budget and a game that isn't really selling, nor is it showing promise in regards to its actual future sellability as a game product, as Mind's Eye could be, as well as a whole engine and creation content sphere that the engine was trying to be lauded toward. What do you think though? Tell us down below. Give us a shout out or a comment on what if you've played Mind's Eye yourself actually. I'm going to be playing it soon. You can check that out on twitch.tv/HPVG. I don't know how we're going to see what's going to happen going forward, but this is just sadly what we see in games development, especially with a very volatile standpoint of what games are and the cost of making them. But let us know what you think in the comments down below, and if you enjoy the video, like, hit the follow or subscribe button, and that way we'll see you on the next video. Have a good one, folks. Peace.